Hello and welcome to the Indicator Warehouse. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some of the action that we had here on the NASDAQ 914 contract for July 28th of 2014. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at our Eagle and see what that offered us up today as far as trades go. So barring any other trades that we would have had available on the Falcon or on the Hawk, we had two nice trades present themselves right here on the Eagle. Beautiful downtrend here, first part of the morning. And this, I think, was due to the fact that pending home sales were down 1.1% as opposed to only being down 0.2%, which was predicted. So that was pretty bad news for the housing market. But everything lines up exactly the way we want. We get our sell warning, we get our short entry triangle, and then here's our entry right here. And we get a nice move here to the downside. Now, you'll see that trend changes. And if you take a close look at this pattern here, I like to call this one the V-shaped recovery on the NQ. Of course, a lot of instruments do this. But we get this bounce down here at the 39.29 level, and then as you can see, we start to turn around. Now, we don't have a trade here. We don't have a trade here. Now, depending on how aggressive you are, you might have a trade right here, but we still don't have that complete transition of the soft edge on top of the hard edge here on the entry bar, but we get a more than valid entry that actually goes to go on and make brand new highs for the day. So those are just the trades that were available on the Eagle. Let's take a look at the Falcon as well. All right, so let's go ahead and let's start with our Falcon trades here for the day. Same day, July 28th, 2014 for the NQ. And we're going to see that we get our first entry right here around 9:39 Eastern Standard Time. Now, I've talked about this before regarding the ultimate support and resistance, which is what I just highlighted. You're seeing the yellow dots. Let's make those go away. This particular trade I chose to pass on because of the fact we were so close to support right there. However, I do get the opportunity to take yet another entry here, even a third and fourth entry if I wanted to actually add to that particular trade. So as we can see, we had a nice down day due to the housing report, at least in my opinion. And then, of course, as we see later on in the morning session, things start to turn around. This is where we start to get a trend change signal right here, which is where we've got the low right here, we get a higher low right here, and then the Falcon just prints this beautiful signal right here. Now, we don't have any valid short signal here, and we don't have a valid long signal here, but our last valid signal of the day takes place right here. Get ready, get set, go. My entry is right above what would have been resistance right here. And we see that we go on to make new highs. This is actually a really fast move that was made for the day. All right, so looking at our Hawk here, we've got everything lining up for the short, exactly what we want to see. Nice red macro line, nice red filter, all of our signals in place. Now, once again, I'm going to point out here that this signal did take place below the median line for support and resistance. This is a pass for me because look how close I am to my Globex open. Now, you don't have to buy into the Globex theory like I have, but I just prefer not to sell into or buy into it. Well, guess what? That's my loss because I get my 50 bucks and then some out of that move. Next trade that becomes available is right here. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to take a breather and I'm going to wait until I get some consolidation back here. With my Hawk trades, I'm only interested in taking the first two trades after the micro-macro cross, which is what we're seeing right up here. Next, I'm going to be interested in taking in trades right after I get my macro line bounce. You see where we bounce off the macro line right there? And then we get our next set of entries down here. And I'm going to go and I'm going to do the same concept. So let's call this one entry right here. Here's an entry that I did not fill on. Here's my second bite of the apple right here. And as you can see with this particular trade, we take a little bit of heat, but eventually it gets down there to get me that 50 bucks. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the trend change. Here we've got our first cross, nice green micro line, nice green macro line right here. I get my first entry right here, and I'd say it's a good looking entry, but no fill on that. Price does not get that high. My next entry comes right down here. Right down as we almost touch the macro line right here. I'm going to wait on a trade like this because like I've said in other videos, and I'll tell you, this is with any instrument, guys, I like to use those ATRs as a filter to help keep me out of questionable trades. So I get my first entry right here. And once again, there's those ATRs right there keeping me out of the trade. This particular trade lines up exactly as I would want to see it. One big difference with this, and we teach you guys how to do this in the room, is I've got the entry signal right here on what would be resistance. Maybe think about taking this trade a couple of ticks higher to give it a little bit of momentum. And as you can see, we go right up through the Globex open and into the median line. Lots of room right here between where our entry would be and Globex open. Well, all right, I hope you found this video to be helpful and informative. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to reach out to me at ray@indicatorwarehouse.com. Thanks, and have a great day.